I'm Bob Harper, candidate for County Commissioner. I live in Center Township with my wife, and I'm an attorney, and I practice law in South Haven. I have 6 children, 9 grandchildren, many of them who live in the county, and my oldest boy practices law with me. Before going to law school, I taught school in Portage Township schools for a couple years, and then graduated from Valpo Law School, and shortly thereafter was elected Portage City Judge. In the mid-70s, I was elected prosecuting attorney in Porter County. After leaving that office, I did not hold public office again until 3 years ago, when I was elected by the precinct committeeman of my party to fill the unexpired term left when Larry Sheets died. It's bullshit. It takes taxpayers' money to fight taxpayers, and it's what we should be doing is watching our budget. We don't need to take more than 2%. And one of the things I always like to remember is Paul in the Bible. Since some are made for leadership, others are made for giving, others are made for helping. Different people have different personalities.
But it's exciting, right? Or just nerve-wracking?
It's nerve-wracking, Jesse.
So, Dad, you had to run for judge, prosecutor, then the state rep,
right?
Then the state rep again,
the commissioner,
and then this is the 6th race, yeah?
Right. 1, 2, lost 3. Hopefully, I'll even it out this time. This is one of my goals, and that is to get a stoplight in here. This is in my district. It's just at the edge of my district. I've always said that you don't have to have a majority if somebody just speaks up. You know what I'm saying? If one person on a board speaks up, you can change things. And the green space ordinance, which everybody was, the builders and the 2 Republicans were against, got passed when I was in the minority because I sent all these letters and packed the meetings. And they were afraid to vote against it because they saw the general public was so for it. One of the big things I want to do, Jesse, is get a tree ordinance. That's a bad corner back there. And we're going to get a stop, not only a stop sign.
When you look at someone like Bob Harper, who has made responsible development and green space such an integral part of his campaign, you have to wonder how many candidates on the local, state, and national level would have had the courage to do the same. So I've been very proud to run on this ticket with someone like Bob.
I think it's lack of self-confidence. I can walk in front of a group of 500 and speak, and I don't have a problem. But one-on-one, I'm not any good.
Please welcome County Commissioner Bob Harper.
But my dad, when I was 15 years old, and my uncle and another fellow, rented the land where Indian Ridge Golf Course was. And they signed this lease for this land that was a cow pasture, is what it was. And then they did something that amazed me as a 15-year-old man. Boy, they built a clubhouse on this golf course, on this land that they didn't own. And I can remember talking to my dad about that. He explained to me that it was sort of like a sale. That in 40 years he wasn't even going to be alive, and he wasn't. That they would have made their money and be gone, and the whole thing would be over with. Sort of like the toll road.
You're a born-again Christian, right? Or you sort of think that?
What do you mean I sort of think that?
You believe that, right?
Right.
When you got sober.
Right. I observed the general public being treated like dirt. I've just got to tell you. Just like dirt. And the arrogance that I observed in those meetings. I got up to speak at one of them, and I said, I want to talk about, because they were trying to rezone this piece of property. Everyone in the room knew it was for a waste transfer station out here on 130. I said, I want to talk to you about what they're going to, and they weren't going to let me talk about what it was about. And I got so mad at So yes, I pray every morning.
And how much, Dad, of what you do you think is a living apology to the kids?
I don't know.
Is that something you're even conscious of?
Well, yeah, I think I'm conscious of it, but I think that, like, I don't think I'm doing any extra. Do you know what I'm saying? I just think I'm doing what I should be doing.
There were developers and realtors in that group that were telling these people to shut up. And you know what? We've changed a little bit of that, and I'm proud of that. You know, but let me tell you why I think this is a different year. Because the arrogance of not letting them take pictures of the dead being brought back from overseas, the dead soldiers. And telling you it's because they're concerned about the families when they don't want the story told.
Dad, do you consider it a miracle you're sober?
Yes.
The arrogance of them to close a license bureau in Gary, Indiana, one of the biggest cities in this state, and tell you, somehow tried to say that it's, there's some sense to it. And there's no sense to it.
How scared are you, Dad, or were you after you got sober about your kids? Drinking, like neither me or Sam or Hal or...
I did a lot of AA when I first got sober, and I accepted what people told me, and people told me that it's all you can do is pray about your kids, that you couldn't change your kids, that just all you can do is pray about them.
But, were you worried that anybody was going to start drinking?
Oh, yeah. Well, people were drinking and using.
The arrogance of taking this money from the sale of this toll road and passing it out for things that already on board. They pass the RDA and they say the RDA is going to get $10 million a year from the toll road. Now they're telling you that the reason the RDA is getting $10 million is because of major moves. I always hate it when people use names for things. Let's call it what it is.
Did you ever feel like a drink?
Yeah.
Still?
Still. Strong? No. But, sometimes it sounds attractive? Yeah.
It's important to support this party this time and everybody on it. And I think it's going to happen because of their arrogance. Thank you.